Hi, beautiful Gemini. Welcome to New Era. My name is Emma. Gemini, before we jump in here, I just want to tell you if you missed that information, I've cut out the extended or like part two of this part one, part two situation, and I've incorporated private readings instead. So if you're interested in a personal reading, just read all about it in the description box down below. So, Gemini, this is for the month of September. And we're going to start with an overall or undercurrent energy here. And we're going to get all the cards on the table and clarify everything. And at the very end, we're also going to invite the angels to give you a message, what you need to know for the month of September. So what's going on for Gemini, please, for September? September 2022. How crazy is that? I don't know where this year went. I don't know if you feel the same. I also invite you to open your heart and relax your shoulders. Like, just have the feeling of opening your heart. How would that feel? And just relaxing your shoulders. You will be a bigger recipient of the message. Children, know that your children are protected. This is my strength card as well. So we have strength, and we have, it can be your inner child, it can be your children that we are looking into more deeply. It can be star children. I see all those stars above that beautiful flower. Star connection, star family. That's underneath everything. We're going to see how that ties into everything. What do you want to tell Taurus? What do you want to tell Gemini, please? Maybe there's a Taurus influence there somehow, some way. It is because Taurus just had this card, strength. And this is my strength card, I just realized. So if you might be a cusp sign, you might be born right at the very end of Taurus or right at the very early beginning of Gemini. And so that means that you're a cusp sign. You sort of have a lot of both energies in your chart. You can have a lot of Taurus in your chart. You can be a Taurus sun being here to listen to your Gemini moon or like whatever. There's a strong connection to Taurus. So if you want to check the Taurus reading out, please do. Because at first we have the strength card with the tiger, and then we have the strength card come out. And I as that came out, I said Taurus instead of Gemini. So yeah, that was a big hint as well. Gemini, what is going on for the month of September, Gemini? What do you want Gemini to know, please? You have 6 of Gabriel, which is you've done something and you should congratulate yourself. You've done really well. Maybe just finding your strength again, being on that personal journey to just, we're going to go deeper into the message. 6 again, 6 of Raphael, which is about the inner child. It's about healing that inner child of yours, which we have sound effects here today, which this card is also about. I can't talk. This is going to be a fun reading. Embrace your inner child and new friends or rekindled relationships. Another 6, which is love and harmony. I feel like there's, yes. And a change of perspective. Can we clarify why these are on the table, please? We can. Patience and planning just sort of showed its face and then turned over again. Patience and planning. Let's see if it comes out or if it just want to tell you like to be patient and go with the seasons. Yeah, that's what it did. Wow, solar plexus. I've had so much solar plexus energy again coming in for various, both in my life and for friends and for these readings lately. So solar plexus is really talking again. The authority card, number 4 there, claiming your space, claiming you. The shadow, working on yourself, integrating both sides, integrating equally much of the shadow as of the light. Have you become whole with the solar plexus chakra, which is all about your growth in like feeling worthy, feeling confident in who you are, and practicing manifestations. So it's a lot about your personal journey, spiritual journey, like inner journey, as like an overview of all the cards, starting with this, like, know that your children are protected. And if there's if there's a mom or a dad out there right now and you just need to know, like, maybe there's an every other week situation for someone, maybe there's a child has gone off to do something and you can't it feels a little bit out of your control, that you're not with your child at this very moment. Know that this is a validation that your child is safe and sound, that they have protection from source and from the angels, that their inner being is with them at all times. So just know that they're protected. Okay? Other than that, this is a strength card. This is you. I just feel like this is such an inner strength, inner journey period for you. And I feel like it probably has not started in September, but it might be even like wrapping up in September. Not that we ever get done, but there's constant evolution, there's constant growth and constant changes of perspective. However, it just feels like you've been on this journey for quite, like, perhaps a couple of years, where you have really dealt with your inner, like, constantly being on the evolution to more personal growth. Okay? And finding that true deep inner strength, not the strength because someone's kind and it's easy to feel strength and feel good about yourself, and not strength because you're so healthy and your bank account is full. This is finding real strength that no matter what is going on the outside, or no matter even what is going on in your body, you find that inner strength, you find that core. And that's also the core relation. So funny. Between the feeling that strength and feeling that core, but having that sort of relationship with your inner child, there's just resting. Like, she's so, and it's not a gender specific reading here, so that's obviously for, we can, hello, please work with me. There you go. Do you see that little girl, and like I said, obviously this is for a man or a boy as well. Do you see how this little, like, the paws, like, I love this, like, the tiger's paw there is like huge, and the little girl's hand is so tiny, but on her face is like, there's no difference. Like, she's so comfortable with, like, just having, and the fact that she's having the hand on top of his, well, maybe he would crush, the tiger turned out to be he would crush her hand if his paw was on top of her hand. I don't know. But I just feel like the inner child here is so safe with all this strength. That's what the inner child is. So when the strength has gone away a little bit, the inner child gets insecure. And the fact that we're now, like, the inner child also dressed in purple, which is very much about your spiritual journey, being connected to spirit, source, God. We have a highlight there from the fire station across the street, or they're actually making fire trucks across the street, to my little boy's excitement. Exactly. That's what I said. Yeah, we start out with noises here in the beginning. So anyway, it's interesting how the inner child is so comfortable. It's just so comfortable and at ease in this situation. And so you might have been working with your inner child lately to have the inner child come out and play and feel safe. You know, some people are really, really good at keeping a childlike behavior. Like, you can have grown up and to be an adult, and you just really have kept that inner child's playfulness and curiousness, curiosity, and just a child. It's not childish, but it's childlike behavior. But then they can feel really like their inner child is vulnerable. Like, you have a really hard time to really let someone in and really, really be vulnerable with someone else, like show that inner child to someone else where it feels like you really, really open up and they can sort of basically do whatever they want with you. And vice versa. You can have a really strong inner child when it comes to really be vulnerable and putting yourself out there, like wearing your heart on your sleeve and have love so hard and let people love you, but be quite serious and quite like you just want to find like your mission and your passion and like you're quite serious about life and you forgot how to play. This is when we intertwine. This is when we combine both of them. That's when you find that real strength also, like to feel the playfulness of the universe and feel the childlike wonder and curiosity that inner child of yours have, and also be very, very, I say vulnerable in the most strong sense, to just have the strength to be vulnerable. Does that make sense? Just be really an open book. Have people like let in people into your innermost core and do the same for others. Like not having to sort of check things out and can I trust this and can I, do I feel safe here? But just really feel open and vulnerable and like you can love as hard as you let someone love you. That's a beautiful place to be in. And this is the underlying current here for this whole reading and for the month of September, okay? Then coming out is the Strength card. You whatever you've been through, Gemini, whatever you've been through in the past, you're regaining your strength as we speak. And this is now like we have the tiger here and here we have the lion, the roar of the lion. We have the peace dove flying around with an infinity sign in the back there. So it's like you're so back on track. You're so in your... Like I said, you might not like feel fully there, like do we ever, but at least you don't feel so out of place or out of sort or out of line, out of path. You probably feel more and more like you're coming into you're finding your footing again. They're just what if you've been out of footing, you're in footing again. Like you're finding your path and you're finding your... If you haven't found it physically just yet, I feel though that you have found it energetically. You're meaning you probably feel more and more stable every day. You get to learn more things about yourself every day. You're more curious about finding out things about yourself. You're not so afraid to be in touch with your emotional body. You're not afraid to sort of go on a treasure hunt to find out more about who you are. You haven't shut those sides of you down. You want to figure stuff out. Why is this wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? If it is, I want to find out why it is. You don't just, well, because it is and I don't care. You're coming back to your roots and to your core, and this is just awesome to see. Six of Gabriel is just basically saying, congratulations, Gemini. You've done a beautiful, beautiful job of finding that inner, or want to go on this journey. So many people are so afraid of their emotions. They're so freaking afraid of what's going to come up and what they're going to face and how that's going to feel. Or being in a conflict and sort of speak your truth and be so afraid of what they're going to be hit back with that it's easier to just shut down. I find, I might be a little bit cynical here, but yeah, kudos to you for going on this journey. And 6 is love and harmony. 11 here is a portal. It's a portal option. It's a portal opportunity to step through this portal right now. We have the lion there. And so the Lionsgate portal has been a huge influence in this year, I feel, and continues to have that influence when it comes to being able to find yourself again. And we have 6 there, which is love and harmony. So you're so on the right track, together with another 6 there, love and harmony, with Raphael, which is all about becoming whole, rekindling perhaps other people, yes, but first and foremost, your inner child. And I love how here we have a boy and a girl, which is the feminine and the masculine. Like we're having the yin yang, the completion of you, the inner child, is starting to feel whole again. If that inner child of yours was really damaged or has been questioned, or like whose inner child hasn't been? You know, I don't think there's a lot. I don't think that there's an alive person on this planet that hasn't questioned, have their inner child been questioned, or that you've shut down a little bit on the inside, like to not fully express yourself or fully go for the exact super big dream that you have. Or, you know, we learn to dream within reason. We learn to be realistic. We learn to dream as much as our bank account allows, you know, or we, or to who we can become. Well, I'm okay here. I'm okay on this level. I'm okay on this level, you know. And this is like when your inner child is now sort of coming to a hold again, and you're starting to reignite that energy from inside out. You might reawaken a lot of dreams and a lot of passions that have been asleep for a while. There's a lot of love here also, like it's sparking something in you. And we have that new friends or rekindled relationships. There might be people coming back into your life, and some people go, oh, I don't want to have anyone come back to me. And I might not talk about exes, although I am a little bit. There can just be people or like moments that have passed you by, which hasn't passed you by because it always comes back around. But in the moment when certain people were around you, you maybe had a connection with certain people, certain business related situations, like business partners that could potentially be a business partner, or this could potentially be such a good friend, or this could potentially be such a gorgeous romantic partner. But when you're a little bit closed off, when your inner child is not out there to play or feels really, you know, not vulnerable in the sense that you're willing to put yourself out there, but rather close yourself down, those people could have been around you, but you might not even have seen the potential in what they could have been. There might not be, like, it might not spark the connection that the universe is trying to send you because it's just you're not there yet. But it's sort of like a little preview of what's to come. So now, sort of coming full circle, now dealing with yourself and working on those personal issues, or finding this inner peace, coming into more of an alignment within yourself and rekindling yourself with the inner child. When those people come back around, first and foremost, they have already shown their face, so they're familiar to you. And this time around, you're willing to take a chance because the inner child, you feel safe for the inner child to come out and play, or you feel safe for the inner child to come out and invite someone in. And that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous, Gemini. And we have the Hangman here, which is, it is talking about like how this is just gonna change everything for the better. And you're gonna, on top of it, as a bonus, have a different perspective. Going into this personal search, going into this personal development, personal growth journey, if you look back and you sort of, when did that really start for me? Like you probably had like a moment even where you go, well, it's basically when I was thrown out on the street, or it's basically when I lost my job, or it's basically when I felt, there's a starting point here where you start to go on that personal journey or that inner journey. And along the way, like coming out on the other end of that, you probably have a complete different perspective on things. You probably almost feel like a complete different version of yourself. That's also very beautiful. A lot of masculine energy there also, I feel, with the 12, like more structure. Gemini, Gemini can be a really structured person. That's not it. I'm completely generalizing now. But Gemini can sometimes need a little structure and order because you have so many things going at once, so many ideas and things you want to do. And like if you don't have a calendar, like you're lost. And so the masculine energy is also about like putting your foot down. Like this is who I am, and this is what I want, and this is what I deserve and ask for. And I'm not going to back down. That's a little similarity there with Taurus also. Yeah, I feel that masculine energy is sort of coming. When it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. Like you can be a woman, and like I probably have been working on lessen the masculine energy in me, even though I'm a woman. I haven't had all that feminine energy going. that's something I needed to practice, to just allow the feminine energy to be there, to just sort of be a little bit more whimsical and a little bit more like going with the flow and trusting that someone else carries the masculine energy for me in certain arenas, if that makes sense. And you can sort of, yeah, I just feel like you're claiming the masculine energy a little bit better, which is going to work out really beautifully for you. This leads beautifully into the authority card, which is sort of like, it doesn't take a psychic to see what's going on here. Based on all the rest of the energies that we already have, we have a 4 there, which is the heart. It's your heart chakra. It's laying a new foundation for yourself, which you definitely seem to be doing. It's the authority card. So it's so much about like claiming your, it's also a little bit about like knowing when to completely sort of take this pose and like, you think like, I'm just going to stand here. I'm not going to have anyone push me over in any direction, but also know when to let go of those arms and go, like learning how to move between feminine and masculine energy, like learning when to push for something and when to sort of just go with the flow of it when it comes to interacting mostly with other people, so that we don't just do it for the sake of it. I don't think you do though, Gemini, because you're such a sensitive soul, and sort of tends to overanalyze everything rather than just going with the flow. So it's rather this energy of yours, you're going on this personal path, this inner search, is going to have you become way more confident. You're regaining your strength here. You're rekindling your inner child, and you're becoming whole in a lot of senses. You see that? And as you do, you're probably going to sort of come across as more and more confident and more stable and solid and like know-it-all. Like this is a very know-it-all person. And that can sometimes come across as like, what happened to Gemini? Like I used to know this kind, a little bit wimpy Gemini who sort of did what I wanted them to do. And now you don't do what I want you to do anymore. Like, what's with you? Well, that's progress. That's healing. That is integration. That is you claiming your space and saying, well, you know what? You can't push me over anymore. And I know you don't like that because that's your issue, you know? So I also, like, I just want to say, it's like a little heads up. There's a feeling here of, like this, know what battles to pick. Know what battles to pick. You're going to move into such a confident place, and some people are just going to not tolerate that from the very beginning. It's going to be a little bit tough on them because they cannot run you over anymore. They cannot push you around anymore. They cannot have their way because all of a sudden Gemini has a voice. What's going on with you? You're going to feel when your inner being is saying, it's a go, it's a go. Just stand there, and whatever they're yelling at you, if they're yelling, whatever they're throwing at you, you just stand there and you just, you do not back down. And you have this feeling when it's time to just, you're absolutely right. You might not agree with them 1%. You might not agree with them whatsoever, but someone is coming to you and they're saying something where you go, I think you're absolutely right with that. And you just know in the heart of hearts that they're absolutely wrong. But you say, you know what? That is probably perfect for this situation and for you and us right now. And you walk away, and and that's like doing this but on the inside. That's you practicing that they don't even have to know that you do not one bit agree with them. Does that make sense? Like, that's real growth. When you can walk away feeling completely the opposite of what the other person was talking about, but you let them feel and understand that you're so on the same page as them. That's not manipulation. It's not being sneaky or bad in any way. That's just what's best for the situation in that very moment. Because you will know that when you show this on the outside, they will throw a fit, and it's just not worth it. So it will be worth it every other time, because you're sort of reclaiming your space as well. And sometimes they really need to work on their issues, and sometimes we sort of just let them be off the hook. Does this make sense? Okay. And here I love this. I love the final two cards. We're going to get these, and then what your angels want you to know. Understanding this, to me, understanding this is probably the biggest thing you can ever come to. And it looks like right now you've learned to love more the shadow side of yourself, like integrating the shadow side of yourself more than any time else. Before that, you probably suppressed, just really pushed down that side of you that you didn't like. And now you're coming to a realization that, you know what, the shadow side is like, it's so important. It's so equally important as the light. We sort of we're a light worker. We call it a light worker. What if I call myself a shadow worker? Like, ooh, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Well, look, we praise the light and we sort of condemn the dark. But I keep telling this story, but it's such a good reference, and it was in school, the little I paid attention in the earlier years, where we were taught like to create light. So we had this electricity thing where we had minuses and pluses, and we knew that, you know, combining just only minus, there's no light, and actually combining only plus, you thought maybe that's really positive. That didn't create light either. But when we combined the minus and the plus pole, that's when we created light. And so we have the minus and the plus, and we need both in order to create light. So in order to be a light worker, you actually have to incorporate both minus and plus. Does that make sense? And you are doing something right now where you're learning, I guess you can say, loving your bad parts, loving your ugly bits, loving those deeper, more negative emotions. Like when you feel really, really negative emotion, to just really be so kind and so understanding, or at least starting to be more kind and more understanding when you have those emotional fits, you know, together with the solar plexus, which is so much about you coming into your worth, feeling worthy, feeling like you deserve the best in this life, and that you have so much to offer and to give to others, and feel the confidence in that, regaining that strength, and also learning to manifest whatever it is you want to manifest in this life. These are so powerful coming out together. I'll leave that there, and we'll ask the angels, what do you want Gemini to know for the month of September? Wow. And wait, Seraphina, no. What had Seraphina? Aries. I think Aries had Seraphina. Okay. I'm starting with Seraphina here. So Seraphina, which I love then, because we have the inner child, and like you're rekindling yourself with your inner child, like reacquaint yourself. Seraphina, I love this angel. She's holding a child. Do you see that? In her arms. A little smaller one. It brings me back to the star child there again. So I just want to say that some of you guys, some Geminis, there might be a child that is actually on the way. The message here is, I am the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family. And obviously it doesn't have to be like your own like biological child. It can just be coming together with someone else that already has children. It can be that you're being sort of a mentor for someone. But for some of you guys, because I felt the star children thing here, is that some of you guys might actually have a star child, meaning there's a child in the universe that hasn't physically been born, but it's equally the strong bond. And you might have this feeling like you still want more children, and you might be 65 years old and you don't understand that feeling, or like whatever age really, but like you just feel a connection that there is another child that probably should be here, but they don't necessarily have to be here physically for you to have a relationship. You just have to work up the relationship with them from the energetic point. Just like a loved one that has been here physically, that goes back into the non-physical without their physical body, with that just energy, and to reconnect with that. It goes the same way with, you know, reconnecting with them even before they've been here physically. Does that make sense? So for some of you guys, there is a star child that Seraphina is here to bring to your attention again. And then we have Ray or Rai. Yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual growth right now. Yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual growth right now. So what does yoga have to do with opening your third eye up? Everything. What does meditation have to do with that? Everything. What has a stroll around the block? It creates circulation. It creates real circulation, and it helps you on your spiritual path. Ray of light. And then Vanessa, the warrior. Just love her. She's so strong. To make your decision. So if there's a decision or there's a question that you have, that you've been pondering, that you've been thinking about, to make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose? Which way takes me away from it? I just feel like the Vanessa is like, she's like a warrior. She's just so strong, and she's really in the know. She's very much like the spouse of this one. So if there's a question you have, if there's an like, should I go into this relationship? Should I be with this person? Well, does it take you closer to your purpose, to your divine purpose? Or does it take you away from that? Should I take this job? Does it take you closer to the divine purpose, or does it take you away? Should I choose to be with this friend? Should I continue to eat this food? Should I, whatever it is, ask the question, does it bring me closer to my divine purpose, like closer to who I really, 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 really am, or does it take me further away from it? That was a good closing question there. That's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope this is uplifting and inspirational. Again, if you're interested in a personal or private reading, please check it out in the description box. If not, thank you so much for being here, Gemini. I highly appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel or like the video if you do. It's no cost for you whatsoever, but it really, really helps me. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.